Russ Heltman of Cincinnati Bearcats on SI here with Cincinnati tight end Joe Royer. Joe, strong first season in Cincinnati, hard off season. Now you guys are in the swing of things with spring ball. You individually, what were you most focused on improving your game-wise this offseason?
Yeah, there's a couple of things I wanted to work on. One is to be a better blocker, finish blocks. I kind of had a tendency a little bit last season. I'd fit guys up well, but then I'd like bounce off of them and whatnot. So just staying attached, finishing plays, and also just can never get any better like at receiving and just doing stuff like that, man. There's so much stuff that goes into that. So just still trying to perfect that, get better at that every day. And really, honestly, everything. I felt like it was a good first season, but I feel like there's a lot that I could improve on to help the team. So that's what my goal was.
And in terms of finishing blocks, holding those blocks, is there a fine line of trying to figure out attachment versus getting too attached and you're outside of the box, the hold, like the block box, and you're going to get called for a hold?
Yeah, it from the start it comes down to hand placement and leverage, kind of what you got. Yeah. So before I even when we're about to make contact, I just try to have inside hands. So if I were to stay on a block, I'm not out here and get called for a hold and whatnot. And when you're in here and a guy kind of sheds off of you, you're able to let go, even if you pull their jersey a little bit. If the ref sees your hands here, he's not really going to call anything. So really, it's hand placement.
Is there do you split that up between Coach Stepp and Coach Cardwell? Do you go to Coach Cardwell for some of those tips, or how does that work with blocking?
So typically on our practices, we'll do just some more tight end related individual drills, and pretty much every day we'll go work some combos and things like that with Coach Cardwell and the O-line guys over there. But also Coach Stepp does a good job just doing stuff like that on our own as well when we're not with the tight ends.
Patrick Gerd, the teammates with him once again.
Yeah.
How cool is that, just getting back with another Ohio State guy?
Yeah, it's been great so far. As soon as he got in the portal, man, I knew this would be a great opportunity for him, and I was probably more excited for him than he was for himself to get here. But yeah, I'm just blessed to be back with him again, and it's great. He's a great friend of mine.
First couple weeks of spring ball, coming off of the tough workout sessions with Coach Nico. How does the body feel making this transition from winter workouts to spring ball right now?
Yeah, it feels good right now. I mentioned it in a presser a couple weeks ago, man. I'm kind of old, so this is my fifth spring, I think. Yeah, fifth spring. So, those workouts, I mean, they're good for me, but damn, I just kind of want to play football when it kind of gets into the bulk of things. But it's good. Body feels good. It was a little worn out there for a little bit, but I'm just excited to be out here playing football again.
Your connection with Brendan Sorsby, obviously you guys are friends on and off the field, had a lot of great moments last year. You were able to set a record at UC because of the connection you and Brendan have. When you get to that level that you're at right now, what's left? What is that next step that you can take? Are there certain routes that you guys aren't as crisp on that you're trying to work on? What does that look like when you have already had such a strong baseline over the past year?
Yeah, there's routes I can run better.
Okay.
And honestly, yeah, we do have a great connection already, but I think it can, take off from here, because I think stat-wise, I think I might have had 80-something targets last year,
right,
but only brought in 50 of them, and some of that's my fault as well. We aren't on the same page about certain things, and then Brennan will tell you as well, so I'm not dissing him or anything, but there's a couple plays or throws, he could have put on me a little better or just gave me a chance. So, we're talking about that, working through things, and really it's a great feeling when you and your quarterback are kind of like the same person. I know what he's seeing, and he knows what I'm seeing, so we kind of know what each other's going to do. So just trying to get to that point consistently and just build on it.
What are you most excited about with the indoor performance center that's going to be opening up to you guys in the next couple months?
Honestly, there's a lot, but I'd say the main thing is, it feels kind of good right now, but a couple of those days in the season, late in the season, and even during winter workouts, we come out here, there's field's covered in snow, it's 20 degrees, we got hoodies and stuff on, and it's dark, and you're like, come on, man. So just getting in a dry, good weather environment, I guess, because it'll probably be 70 degrees in there consistently, but also from like a performance standpoint, new training room that would be exclusive to just kind of football guys. So just being able to get in there will help. And I think we're going to have like a big recovery room, which would be good with, you know, red light beds, Normatex and stuff like that. So when that thing gets finished, man, I'll probably live in there.
Are you implementing stuff on that like that already with the all of those like red light therapy and different saunas and stuff like that?
I didn't really have a say in it, but our athletic training staff, strength and conditioning, and just, you know, the performance staff as a whole, they kind of already had a good idea of what was needed. So I mean, I don't even think there's anything I could come up with that we might need over there. They've done a great job.
There you go. Final question here for Joe. Just how excited are you to have this receiving room around you to kind of take a little bit of pressure and maybe some double teams and some coverage looks away from you this season?
Yeah, it's great. You know, these guys through 4 practices look really good, and you know, I think they'll just continue to build on that. So by the time season comes around, you know, we'll be a elite receiving core, and then hopefully I can get out there and help it as well. But, you know, when you got good receivers, it definitely takes stress off a guy. You know, if you only got one good receiver and the other guys aren't really as great, you know, that guy will tend to get double, and, you know, he's not getting the ball as much. And then, you know, some of the guys might not win who are one-on-one over there. So just really just help each other, honestly. You know, hopefully I can help, you know, make some guys get open there if they decide to, you know, bracket me or put another guy over top of me, and maybe they can help me if they decide to put a guy over on them, and then I get open. So it'll really just be I'm excited to see it, honestly, when the season comes around. I think it's going to be a well-oiled machine for sure.
You see tight end Joe Royer, everybody.